Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Vaishnavi. I hope you guys are doing well and I'm doing good too. And today is a Tuesday and I started this new thing. So from now on we are going to call this Talky Tuesday. So this is where I talk about things as usual and yeah. So let's get into this video. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about another my favorite book, and this time it is this book, Perks of Being a Wallflower. Can you see? Yes, it's one of my favorite books now. Not from now, it's been a while. And there is a movie by the same name, and these are the characters. Of course, my favorite, everyone's favorite, Ezra Miller. Yeah. And this is my favorite book, and I first watched the movie and then I came across the book. I didn't know it was a book, but it is probably New York Times bestseller. It was, and I really love this book. Even though it's a small book, it is really good, and I hope you guys will read it after watching this video and also watch the movie. The movie is a little bit different than the book. It shows the same things, but the book has little more detail, and I don't know, when I read the book I felt really more connected to the plot, and yeah, so I'm going to talk about this book, and so let's get into this. Okay, so this book is about a guy, a teenager named Charlie, and he's a kind of an introvert, and he doesn't really have any friends, and so in this book he starts to find a new group of friends, and how the group and his life goes on, and what really happens is given in this book. I really like this book because it gives a idea of a introverted person and what goes through in his mind, and how he copes up with things, and how friends are what do you call, center of things. And so yeah, this book is one of my favorite books, and so let's dive into it. So the first thing that I really like about this book is divided into 4 parts. These parts are really small, and this book is basically shown as a diary which Charlie writes to this anonymous person. He refers to it as dear friend. I don't know who that friend is. I guess it's just for him, and so he starts writing about his life to this imaginary friend, and he never reveals himself, and he doesn't reveal anything about himself in this book to this friend, and so yeah, it goes on that way. Okay, so the book starts from 1991, August 25, 1991, and it goes like, Dear friend, I am writing to you because she said you listen and you understand, and didn't try to sleep with that person at the party even though you could have. Please don't try to figure out who she is, because you might figure out who I am, and I really don't want you to do that. I will call people by different names or generic names because I don't want you to find me. I didn't enclose a return address for the same reason. I mean nothing bad by this. So starting with this book, he talks to this friend, and tells him that he will not enclose any names, and he will not enclose anything about where he's from or anything, but he does write a lot of times, and by that we will get to know what happens. There are times when he is really sad, and we get to know that what depression in his life is, and what happens when people are in depression as a 15-year-old. So when I watched the movie, I didn't understand what was going on at first, and later on I realized, acha, this is a person and he's talking to a friend, imaginary friend, and all that's happening. But it is a really good movie, and there are really good lessons from it. And there's obviously Emma Watson, and yeah. So starting from his I guess sophomore year. Wait. Yeah, starting from sophomore year, he is obviously in school, and he mentions about his family. He has a brother, a sister, a brother who is away for college, a sister who is with him, and is a year older than him. So he mentions about school where he has no friends, and now he has to join school again, and he won't have anyone to sit with for the lunch, and he'll have to sit down with his sister, but he thinks that his sister might not invite him to eat lunch with her. So that happens, and for his he has many classes, and his favorite class is English class, and it shows that he is really good at English, and he has this teacher who is his new favorite teacher, and he gives him new books to read and told him to write essays about it. And it is a really good way for him to explore his English literature, and what he wants to do in future, so he gets an idea about that because of the English teacher. And and in this book he mentions a lot of books, like To Kill a Mockingbird, and many other books. So it is really a uh, good way to know about more books, and it is in 1991. So yeah, all the books are old. So when Charlie joined school, there was this game, a football game, where he founds a guy who is in his shop class, I guess, and from then he becomes friends with this guy. And then this guy has a stepsister who is Emma Watson, and so then they all become friends, and these guys form a group, and all of these hang out. It shows a very chill type, and it shows really good scene where he is friends with new people, and eventually Emma Watson and Ezra Miller finds out that that Charlie doesn't have any friends because his friend killed himself a year ago, and so now he doesn't have any friends. So they are at this party, and from then they all become friends. So Charlie has new friends, but they all are a year older to him. And then eventually the year gets over, and he is a little bit sad because now he has to find again a group of new friends. So yeah, Charlie is kind of sad about it. So later we see that in the book that we see that Charlie has to go through all the new stuff because his friends move away, and he gets really sad about it. And I get that, because when you are an introverted person, you have this anxiety, and you constantly think about your friends and how they might leave, and when that actually happens, it is really hard. And I really relate to that. Because of this book, you can actually relate to it. And yeah, and later in this book we see that Charlie falls in love with Sam, and he eventually confesses it to Sam, but it is too late, and Sam, tells him that how are people going to realize that you are in love with them. You have to express yourself, and it teaches Charlie to express himself, but it is too late now. And there was a moment where Sam tells Charlie that she loves him, but she tells him what happened in her life. She was abused when she was little, and they are in this moment, and Charlie realizes that he was also abused, so they kind of relate to each other on that level. And yeah, and and at the end of the book we see that Charlie is on drugs, and on this Christmas night he walks around his neighborhood, and it's really snowing, and Charlie kind of has a panic attack because of Christmas and his aunt dying during Christmas. His aunt was his favorite person in the world, and she dies, and she also abuses Charlie when he was little. So that kind of hits him, and he gets a panic attack, and then he is what do you call and then he is in hospital because of it, and he falls into depression, and then it is shown that he finally recovers through it. He goes into this a hospital where people treat you for it, and they take care of you, and his friends come to visit him, and it really gives you hope when you read that. But it really breaks my heart to read that he was abused, but it is true that people get abused, and it is shown in this book, and get it what happens in real life. So it is a really good book, and I hope you guys really read this book. It is really a good one, and watch the movie too. When you watch the movie, you won't understand the moment where he passes out because of the panic attack, but later when you read it in the book, you will get it that he has a panic attack. So you relate to this book, because I relate to it because of many reasons. One being that he is introverted and I am an introverted person, and when I was 16 years old, I remember I had to go through all these changes, and having friends or no friends, it was a big deal, and it is still a big deal for me. And when you read about it, you feel normal, I guess, and I really like this book because of that. So it is a really good book, and just reading it in my dark times helps me, because it gives me a hope that even though you are in recovery, you will get there, and you are not alone, and people write about this kind of stuff, and it feels really real. I don't know why it feels really real, because it's in form of a diary or something. So yeah, I really like this book. I hope you guys read it. I'll link it down below in the description box, and I hope you guys read it, and let me know if you guys read it in the comments below, and give this video a like or thumbs up, and and subscribe to this channel, and I'll make more of this Talky Tuesday videos every week, and I hope you guys like this. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Yeah, baby girl, you're so damn fine, though. Wanna know if I can hit it from behind, though. I'm